Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful edition of Enterprise Chat here at MSME Africa. Here we talk everything entrepreneurship and business related. Yes, today we have yet another interesting thing to talk about, which is something that is of concern to every Nigerian. We'll be discussing the rising foreign exchange rate and its implication on small businesses. We all have seen that the Naira is beginning to depreciate even further. We can see the downward trend of the Naira against other foreign currencies. And to join us in this discussion is Mr. Darlington Onyeagoro. He is an experienced, practical, and outcome-oriented strategy and product development consultant with over 14 years of retail, microfinance, banking, and fintech experience. I'm going to put a stop to that now because of our time. Good morning to you, Mr. Darlington.
Good morning to you also. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today. Yeah.
All right. Now, looking at the current trend of the Naira against the dollar in particular, the downward trend, the fall, what exactly is your take on it?
My take on it is that for someone like me that runs a fintech where we serve small businesses, gig workers, hustlers, it has been a horrific experience for them. For example, we have partners that allow us to handle international payments, for example, on behalf of these businesses. They want to pay their customers in China. For example, like a few days ago, one of my friends said he wanted to do a transfer of $12,500 to his partner in China, who helped him to ship some some products from China. So he has buyers in Nigeria who pay him in Naira, and now he wants to repatriate the funds back to his partners in China. So when we gave him the rate of $800 and something, 800 and something Naira per dollar, the guy screamed, you know. So that's what they call capital erosion. So you bought this particular goods 5 months ago or 3 months ago from China, and they shipped to Nigeria when dollar was probably 600 or 700. And now you're trying to repatriate the funds at 880 Naira or 850 Naira black market rate. So you can see that the little profit he made from that business is gone, all right? So I'm sure the guy is still struggling on how to repatriate those funds back to his partners in China. And that's the everyday experience of the small business owner, all right? Especially those that actually depend on importing their goods, you know, from outside the country. They find it difficult repatriating back the revenue back to their partners. And we are in the thick of that. And at the same time, like somebody was saying during an interview that, I don't know, this redesign of the Naira note is also contributing to the the rise in value of dollar and pounds. Pounds is above $1,000 right now, and dollar is almost tending towards 1,000 Naira, probably before December 15th. So, but like I said, it's something that has to be done because normally currency redesign needs to be done every 6 to 8 years. All right, and the last 20 years, we have not changed our currency design. So that has also exposed the Naira to a lot of security risk because now counterfeiting Naira becomes easier when you don't have incorporated the latest technology for fighting, combating counterfeits. So, I mean, the last 20 years is a long time not to redesign your currency. All right, even normal brands like beers and other things, they have to design the bottle of the beer or the branding to avoid counterfeits. So why won't you do it with the Naira? So I see some gains and some pains involved in that, especially with the rise of dollar. And because we're also an import-dependent country, the pain for the small business owner is actually rife.
Here in Nigeria, what are they likely to see on the back of this Naira devaluation and the fall against the dollar?
Okay, like I said earlier, I mean, it's already biting into their profit. It's biting into their profit essentially because if you bought something from your partners abroad at a lower, when dollar was probably 600 and you have to repatriate the funds back when dollar is now 800 plus, you're already losing 200 basis points already. I mean, you're losing money. So whatever profit you made will be eroded because of the currency exchange. Not just that, even fintechs like us that get investments, you know, for example, you get an investment from abroad for your business, like let's say like a debt investment, like maybe somebody gives you a loan from abroad, like all these VCs and financial organizations that give you what they call a loan to run your business in Africa, in Nigeria. By the time you are done with that and you want to repatriate back the capital plus the interest back to these guys who gave you money to do business, you realize that even the money you made from the business is gone. All right. So capital erosion is one of the biggest challenges that we find out. Sorry, or revenue or profit erosion is one of the business challenges we find out that SMEs are going to face. Number two, the cost of goods is also going to go very high because there's also a ripple effect of this increase in dollar on the prices of goods and services. So which means in the value chain in your business as an SME, those value chains where you have the production cycle, there are going to be high cost of producing those goods because everything is affected by the increase in dollar. So at the end of the day, the cost of producing your goods or your service has gone way up, all right? And that will also affect the end user because you need to recoup your money back and you need to also make profit, from that particular product or service that you're offering as a small business. So the ripple effect is that it's going to increase the cost of goods sold. It's going to increase your marketing costs. Even today, if you want to actually do marketing, for example, for your businesses, want to market your product, most of the guys we use for online marketing, like Google and others, the cost of doing marketing or the cost of acquiring a customer has also gone up. So your customer acquisition cost as an SME has also gone up because there's a ripple effect of the fall of Naira, on all these services, especially if you consume what they call these services from international platforms. All right. So you have to pay in dollars. For example, even those that have ordinary websites, all right, if you have your website and you're hosting your website with international guys that host abroad, you find out that the cost of hosting your website or your mobile app as an SME has also gone up. Like we use DigitalOcean, and the last time we are debited from our card, we realized that it has gone up by almost $100. All right. So the cost of everything is going up. Even marketing costs, customer acquisition costs, everything. Hosting your website as an SME, production costs is also going up. And as a consumer, because as an SME, you're also a consumer, you have bills to pay. The bills is also mounting up. So generally, it affects businesses. And a lot of people are going to be shutting down their business if they cannot cope with the cost of production or they don't have enough investment, all right, to plow into their businesses. It's going to affect the way businesses are run, all right? So that's the ripple effect of this whole thing happening.
Okay, because Mr. Darlington, a lot of people are worried. As a matter of fact, every day, looking at rising inflation, as a matter of fact, there was a report that I read yesterday, which actually said that Naira and worst currency, the Naira has lost 37% of its value against the dollar, and the CD lost 5% of its value against the dollar. Where do you see us going? If all of these are not curtailed, where do you see us going in a few months from now?
So I'm a firm believer that things are going to balance themselves out eventually. All right. My simple layman's prediction would be that it may get worse, but it will also get better. All right. So life has a way of balancing themselves. So like I said, the design of the Naira is actually one of the greatest pull we have now towards the loss of value of the Naira at the moment. But by the time the new notes are introduced in December, and there's a cut-off time of January 31st for the old note to stop becoming a legal tender, things are still going to be looking up eventually. So I believe that it may get worse, but it will not get to the Zimbabwe kind of situation where you have to carry a wheelbarrow of cash to buy a loaf of bread. I don't think we're going to get to that level. All right. I know that with the coming elections also, there will also be pressure on the Naira with the coming elections and all. But at the end of the day, before the end of first quarter of next year, I see us bouncing back a little bit, especially with the outcome of the elections. All right. I don't see us getting to that level where we'll be like Zimbabwe, where, like I said, you have to carry loads of cash. So, Naira will not fall to that level. Naira has a way of bouncing back, especially once we move from consumption to production. All right, and then people begin to produce more again. I believe that the value of the Naira will start coming up. And like what somebody was saying, the value of the currency, apart from other economic factors, is a sum total of the trust that the citizens and other people have in that currency. The reason why the dollar is very powerful is that the Americans believe in the dollar, and every other person believes in the dollar. So the value of the currency also goes with the trust. That's why this election period is also very important. Who becomes the president? You will see a drastic change. I mean, the right person gets into power, for example, you realize that people will now have more confidence in the naira.
I would have wanted, Mr. Darlington, I would have wanted you to expatiate more on how the confidence of the citizens would affect the value of the currency.
Let me explain today now. More and more people are looking at how to store their money in dollars. If you watch, in fact, there's a craze that I can see that even the EFCC, from the report we gathered, arrested over 7 BDCs, either in Kano or Abuja or whatever. Why? Because there's a crazy rush to move those nairas into dollars. Why? Because they have confidence in dollar. If I give you naira now and I give you dollar now, I'm sure you go for the dollar first, even if that is the same equivalent. If I give you 1 million naira cash, I give you equivalent of that in dollar. Why do you have confidence in dollar? Because you believe that this dollar may go up tomorrow. Why the naira will not go up? So at the end of the day, see, the confidence and patriotism towards your currency also matters a lot. When people are rushing for dollar, the law of demand and supply, you get the point. Because there's so much demand for the dollar, the value of dollar goes up. So that's why I say that the sum total of the value of a currency, apart from other economic factors, there are a lot of economic factors that determine the value of a currency. But I'm saying that even the citizens themselves should even have confidence in their currency to start with. The average British guy cannot play with the pound. I get my point. The average British guy cannot, or American, cannot play with the dollar. They have confidence in their currency. That's the first thing. So when Nigerians have lost confidence probably in the entity called Nigeria itself, and they also lost, so they prefer to hold that money in dollars. So like I said, the outcome of the political season next year will also guarantee what happens. For example, when a new president comes into America, Wall Street reacts. Either stocks begin to go up or begin to go down based on what happens in the political scene. So that also affects the value of a currency. So I'm just saying that apart from other economic factors that we look at, my first point is that I don't think we're going to get to the point of where Zimbabwe found themselves, that you have to take loads of cash to get bread. I believe there will be a self-correction. There will be a self-correction of the system probably in the first quarter of next year. It may get bad as people begin to struggle to get the cash they've hoarded into the banking system, as we begin to struggle to convert their hoarded cash into dollar. It may get worse. But after a while, there will be a self-correction of the system, and the naira will also bounce back eventually. So that's our hope and that's our prayers.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, briefly before you go, I would like you to just give us practical steps for business owners to walk their way through, despite all of these challenges. How can they navigate their way, even in all of these challenges?
For me, what I have my business, my fintech business, we are negotiating with different fund providers, all right, investors. Some will tell you they want to give you a loan, all right. So for now, you have to also be very careful how you negotiate your what they call foreign currency denominated loans, all right. If you're getting a foreign currency denominated loan, or you are doing a business with a foreign partner, and this has to do with foreign currency, you must be able to negotiate better, so that when you are repatriating the funds, it does not erode this little revenue that you have made from that particular business. So what I simply do now is to look for local partners. Look for local partners that you are dealing with naira to naira conversation. There's a naira to naira conversation that doesn't involve foreign exchange. All right. And for end users like small businesses, they can make use of what they call virtual dollar cards. Today we have fintechs that are offering virtual dollar cards with dollar rates as low as 700, lower than black market rates. And you can load up to $10,000 on those virtual cards. And you can use those virtual cards for your online transactions. So most of the SMEs are not even aware that these virtual cards offer you lower rates than black market rates. So if you're a small business that you're doing transactions less than $10,000, you want to pay something online and all that, just go. There are a lot of fintechs. My fintech also will be providing that maybe in the next few days, called Aladdin. So you can get a virtual card from Aladdin. You can load up to $10,000, and you can do your online transactions at rates lower than the black market rates. So first of all, ensure that you negotiate better with your foreign counterparts to ensure that when you are repatriating the funds, the exchange rate does not erode the revenue you've made. Source more your goods locally. If you can find them locally, do more of local transactions now, because if you do foreign-based transactions, you may end up losing at the end of the day. Look for virtual card providers. For your transactions, you want to buy things on Alibaba, you want to buy things on Alipay or Amazon or some of those places, or you want to pay for website hosting, you want to host your website online, use virtual cards, because the dollar rates are lower than black market rates. Are you getting my point? These are some of the practical things I will tell you to start doing now. For now, exactly.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Darlington Onyeagoro. But briefly, just give us your final words today as we wrap up the enterprise chat session for the day.
Okay, my key takeaway is that it's hard for everybody right now. So I mean, it's not easy across Africa, across the world. Everybody has challenges. So my talk is that we are all SMEs. I'm an SME, you are an SME. We're all trying to grow out there. So let us be resilient. I mean, these are tough times. All right. So, but I know, like I said, there's going to be a self-correction of the system. All right. So let us hang in there for everybody. Hang in there, make wise decisions, negotiate better, and I know that things will look up for every one of us, and we're all going to come out smiling at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on the program today. It was nice having you on the chat.
Nice also having you also. I'm also excited.
And I'm going to end the conversation with what you said. 12 times do not last. What 12 people actually do. You have to stay resilient even amidst all of these challenges that we are facing. And this is where we draw the curtain for today's edition of Enterprise Chat. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope to see you next week. But don't forget, you can connect with us on our social media platform on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at MSME Africa. I'm saying thank you once again. I'm Armde Floresho. See you next week.
All right. Thank you very much.